All right, next we've got Kirthan. Are you ready, Kirthan?
Can y'all hear me?
We can.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it, buddy.
For sure. All right, just start whenever. Perfect. Hi, my name is Kirthan, and I'm presenting my brand Sense Fiction, which I am the current founder and CEO of, and we are a physical products line specifically for fiction book lovers. Now get this. Julie Lyle, the former chief marketing officer of Walmart and the former CMMO of Barnes & Noble, told me in a Clubhouse room that fiction readers with extreme commitment to disposable income and very high return purchase rates compared to most are one of the most lucrative consumers in the market, full stop. But the problem is, as many readers nowadays transition towards and download books to their e-readers, the experience just diminishes. And that's where we come in. Sense Fiction is starting with a scented candle line that readers would burn while reading, which provides an elevated reading experience, transporting readers back to simpler times. A little bit about me. I'm the founder of this company. My name is Kirthan. I am 19, an undergraduate student at the University of Southern California Marshall School of Business. I was the youngest snare drummer in a nationally recognized drumline, and now I read a shit ton of fiction, and I'm on a journey to build really cool businesses. The current influencer partnerships we are working with this brand include my friend Emily, Honest Book Girl, who we have secured. She has posted about us before. She has almost 12,000 followers on Instagram. Jami from My Shared Stacks, who has almost 28,000 followers on Instagram. Joel from the YouTube channel Fictional Fates, who has almost 66,000 YouTube subscribers. And Sarah from the Novel Pairings podcast, who we estimate to have almost 9,000 listeners. And the potential agencies and consultants we will be working with include Turnkey to manage Amazon sales down the road, my friend Alex, who's a really skilled and passionate filmmaker who can manage our YouTube channel, and French Color and Fragrance Co. to help us develop new, unique, and proprietary candle scents. And the market opportunity here is that we have the opportunity to tap into both the traditional candle market and the untapped book buyer market to create more partnerships from there. And later down the road, when we launch our flavored herbal teas, which all collectively create an intersection between novels, candles, and teas down the road. And the current competition and other businesses in the space include Authentic Books, which is a monthly book subscription box, which includes physical sensory products inspired by the book. They were launched last year and they're currently doing about $500,000 in annual revenue. Mythology Candle, which was founded by a 1% member, which is a fantasy inspired candle line. They're doing currently $300,000 in monthly revenue. Otherland Candle, which raised almost $3 million in seed round from the co-founders of Venmo and Casper, and they are a candle line with artistic designs and emblems. And finally, Book of the Month, which is, as the name suggests, a monthly subscription book box, currently doing about $10 million in revenue. And our current traction with Sense Fiction is that earlier this year, we've launched on Kickstarter. We've had a successful campaign where 104 backers gave us a little bit over $6,200 in pre-orders in 1 month, which helped first fund our first round of inventory. And now we're in the process of relaunching. And the tentative timeline for Sense Fiction and Strategy after the Kickstarter campaign is this month. We are focusing on starting our YouTube channel and blog and securing our influencer partnerships. And next month in September, we'll be launching on Amazon Hard. And with our early customers, we'll create a Facebook group all about books. And in December, with collaboration with French Color and Fragrance Co., we will be launching monthly new and proprietary candle scents to our audience. And from February to May next year, we'll be launching our flavored teas, our book pillows, and page anchors, which are little bookmarks that keep your book pages open. And July next year, we will be launching a monthly book subscription reading box, which will include the book of the month and a candle inspired by the book of the month, teas inspired by the book of the month, and other self-care items, which can range from face masks, scrubs, and even bath bombs later down the road. And currently, we are looking, in exchange for an equity stake, $200,000 in capital, which would go towards making more candles and keeping our inventory in stock, marketing, and developing new products later down the road. But full disclosure, I advise you not to give me money, and this is why you should not invest. Number one, we are not solving an important problem. Like candles, bro, come on. Like we're just serving a consumer we genuinely care about and love. Number two, I'm 19 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't give me money. Number three, I'm a first-time founder. I have no business background. Like if I didn't tell you last time, I really don't know what I'm doing, so don't give me money. But if you don't want to listen to me and not take my advice, you can contact me at kirtan@sensefiction.com. My phone number is 1510-579-9485. And yeah, that's my pitch. Thank you.
Great job, Kirthan. Way to go. Give the man some hashtags. Ryan, I'll let you lead it out.
Your opening was epic. Is like that was such a slam dunk opening with the quote. It was really well done because you built up authority and edified the business direction in one sentence. That was extremely well done. That was in copy, we might call that a gripping headline. So that was a perfect opening for you. I also liked the tagline you have of you take them back to simpler times. It was just a little sneak in there. I thought that was a nice tip of the cap to the marketplace. I also, based on, obviously I've gotten to know you over the last year and watched your growth. And I remember when you were struggling to get any influencer to like give you attention. And you were like on a perpetual first date, like wondering what to text the girl back. And so seeing 4 people on that slide made me feel really happy and really proud of you. You've done a really good job of building up those relationships over the last year. That's hard to do. And you were starting cold. And so you've done a really good job building up those relationships.
Thank you.
One other thing in your deck was you really got my attention on the competition slide. And it wasn't until that point that I actually audibly went, oh, it was the first time I was like, oh, there's money here. There's market size here. And that needed to be addressed earlier, because I think that your business right now is missing its big idea. You have a product and you have a great market. Your market makes total sense to me. And you've done a really good job of positioning yourself and positioning that market as a great opportunity. But I'm concerned about your current product market fit. Is that the hero product that is going to make Sense Fiction the brand that it needs to be? I'm skeptical of that. And so you either need to prove that to me or you need to rethink your big idea. The thing that really compels me to what you're doing is it seems to me that the big problem that the market has is a lack of community, because they have gone from reading old books and having an experience and going to bookstores to reading on digital readers and not going to physical. Doing is it seems to me that the big problem that the market has is a lack of community, because they have gone from that. And so you either need to prove that to me or you need to rethink your big idea. The thing that really compels me to what you're doing is it seems to me that the big problem that the market has is a lack of community, because they have gone from reading old books and having an experience and going to bookstores to reading on digital readers and not going to physical book clubs anymore. So it seems to me that there is a gap in the marketplace of the community that's being built, which you seem to be doing as an afterthought. I'm just curious what it would feel like if Sense Fiction solved that problem first, and that was the big idea, and then you had the product line that came up and supported that. The one kind of tactical piece of advice I give you is slow down. I genuinely was worried you were having a panic attack because I could almost feel you sweating because you were going so quickly. And finally, you totally got me at the end. That was hilarious. You have heard me say that if you ask for money, you'll get advice. What I thought you did really well there was you turned a pitch into actually a subtle ask for advice, which is also a way to get money. So I thought it was well done. I don't know strategically if that will work for you, but you got my attention, and I thought it was really well done. Once again, I just want to read it. The biggest piece that I think you need to put some thought into is the candle the core of the business, or is there a bigger play here? Is there a bigger idea here? And at 19, I was not able to think about big ideas. I was thinking about what am I going to sell to be able to fund this business? So I understand how hard that is. But if you can make that pivot, then I think you've really got something.
Oh yeah, thank you, Ryan.
It's not a real feedback to the deck, but here is something. So at 19, looking at your enthusiasm and your energy, I would want to bet on you as an investor. The challenge I would have is you had an ask for 300,000. I'll be like, this is a bet. This is me saying there's a 19-year-old kid. I think 90% he's not going to win this, but what I will build is an entrepreneur for life and maybe a future investment opportunity. That's at least how I would think about it. I'm not saying every investor thinks like that. So if you'd ask me for $30,000, I'd probably be like, sure, let me give you $30,000, get you off the ground, get you the much needed advice, because I see the passion, I see the drive, I see the personality. You're funny towards the end, which is great because that showed me your personality, then your anxiety, like you were doing in the first part of the pitch, like rightly Ryan mentioned. And if that's your natural personality, you're going to crush it. If not with this product, you're going to crush it with something else. So I think it's going to be great. But I think I would be more hesitant to give you $300,000. I might give you $30,000, $10,000. If your ask was smaller, it was easier for me to say yes, considering your first, all the things that you made fun of towards the end. And Ryan nailed it. If your business model is probably what you want to get to in 6 months or 1 year, whatever the timeline was, where people get a box and shared experience of a community, that is probably what you're really selling instead of a scented candle. That's what I agree with Ryan on that.
For sure. Thank you, Ajit. I appreciate it.
Great feedback.
I had just a couple quick things really fast, Kirtan. One, I thought you did a great job with that. So 3 points of feedback is one, if somebody says they'll give you $30,000, you always need to ask them if that verbal is binding. I'm joking. But step two is the note that I had was right on line with Ryan's. Is your first slide had excitement. That was great. Like that was a high point. Don't change that. For sure, leave that like it is. And then all I want to do as an investor is I want to connect the dots of the excitement you created for me there. I want to connect that to see like how does that profit? Like where does that end up profiting? So I think there's actually a really good chance to use that and say, hey, the book community is a very profitable community to engage. As we develop how we engage with them, there's so much future opportunity to launch things. And then lastly is I think that you can speak to the lack of community in the book community. You can speak to that lack of community, that it's going away so fast. We're having to light candles like it's a vigil. And I don't know if there's some kind of humor to be used there, but that seems to be the thing is I think there's a lot of service to that community that could be done outside of candles as well. So anyhow, really like the pitch. I thought you did a great job, bud.
For sure. Thank you. If it's okay, I would like to hash something like if I change to like community, like lack of community and like representation, how would you guys suggest me to like pivot my problem into? Would it just be fiction readers are not represented and then we're going to represent them with candles, or would it be something else you suggest?
Where you are in your business right now, Kirthan, is I would internally make the decision that you're going to build the world's biggest online book club for your existing customers, and that you are going to take all of your customers who have bought a candle and get them into Facebook groups and like go all in on however you're going to build that community, or a Discord or a Slack channel or whatever. And now that is your passionate launch audience, and you can sell like as many candles as you want. Just know that that is a way to acquire customers. They're going to be active in building the community. Later, you can worry about if you're going to monetize that community or if you're going to launch more products or what. But I want to see that something's moving. And before I come in as an investor, it's okay for you to highlight in your deck that that's the problem. That's totally fine. And then you can just say, and the first way that we solve that is we're putting them into groups that we're building by selling these candles, right? You make the product the route at which you are building the community. So I don't think it's a huge shift for you externally. It's more of an internal decision that that's how you are going to build the company, and externally how you're going to acquire those community members.
For sure. For sure. That helps. Thank you.
Great job. We've got to jump to Eric real quick. Kirthan, way to go. If you guys don't know, Kirthan spends the majority of his time pitching on Lunchclub, and he's a hustler. And you see that here. Like when he said pitch, he went out and is pitching like crazy. That's why he can talk with the former CMO of Walmart and get feedback there. One thing that Ryan hit on was not a lot of people are going to think candles, big market. So that slide was showing like product market fit awareness. Like that's a big deal for people because they're going to go candles and what's the market size there? What's the big idea? That's a huge one for you, Kirthan. And your disadvantage, age, and energy actually is an advantage and creates generosity from investors. They want to bet on you. So make the bet an easy bet. One that they can just go, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. I want to back you. I want to believe in you, because somewhere in investors, they were that young entrepreneur that just needed someone to believe in them, and you represent that. So keep going. And then customer acquisition, what Ryan hit on building a community, that's customer acquisition. That's momentum. And when investors see momentum, they want to get in on that wave. So way to go. Ryan, you unmuted. Was there something you wanted to add?
I was just going to say, make sure you all follow Justus on Lunchclub. He puts out his best content there.
All right, let's go. Max also says candle margins are also superb. So way to go. Okay, so next, get ready, guys. We got Eric